So okay guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to use probe request to determine what networks your devices are trying to connect up to. Now with that said, full disclaimer, since my Kali Linux videos have been targeted by YouTube lately, this is for ethical purposes only. Only do this when you have permission to do so, and then again, this information isn't really used for malicious purposes for the most part. Probe requests are fairly harmless. They are just your devices trying to connect up to a network, so they blast an ESSID information out there in hopes to see another thing say, hey, I see you're looking for me, you found me, let's connect. Probe requests by nature are generally safe, and they can only get you into trouble if someone knows how to exploit them. And there ain't that many exploits when it comes to these probe requests. But they're still pretty cool, and it's a part of my war driving arsenal, and I like to do this just when I'm driving around, just to see all the ESSIDs that are made and all the wacky names for their internet that people come up with. Anyway, to capture probe request, I use a program called Tshark. Tshark is a short name for Wireshark, but it's Terminal Shark. Now, Terminal Shark, I believe it's Terminal Shark, is a program that's designed to capture these probe requests. Now you can pipe this information out into a PCAP file, or you can do it out into a text file. But before we can capture probe requests, we gotta put our card into monitor mode. For those of you that don't know what monitor mode is, here's a quick rundown. Monitor mode is a mode that your wireless card probably supports, but not a lot of them do. And it puts your device into scanning mode. You can scan for networks around you and various other things. So to get a card into monitor mode, just type in airmon-ng, let me do a dash, not an O, -ng, and hit enter. That will tell you what interfaces you have available, and as you can see, I already got my card in monitor mode. But to, let's say, start a card or your certain device or interface up in monitor mode, it's as simple as typing in airmon-ng start WLAN 0. That will put your device in monitor mode, and you'll get a new interface called WLAN 0 mon. Anyway, now that we got that information settled, this is the command I generally use for my Tshark, and it just basically specifies the network device that we wish to capture on, what kind of type of information we want to capture. In our case, we want to collect this type of information, probe request. And we want to type and put all that information into a text file. Now this text, it could be a text file, CVS file, it could be a PCAP file. Since it is Wireshark, it can capture as PCAP files. I just like doing it as a text file because my device is a mobile, and it's just easier to read them files on my phone when they're in text form. Anyway, that's basically all you need to know about Tshark. We should actually explain how to install it quick. To install Tshark, it's just apt-get install Tshark. Now, sometimes Tshark won't be on the device that you are using, and you have to change some repositories to get it, but in most cases, just typing that in will install Tshark. Now, if you haven't watched my video on screen, I recommend running Tshark within screen and just letting it idle in the background as a background process, because then you can capture requests while you're doing other things you might be wanting to do at the time. So I'm just going to run screen sh Tshark probe request. Now this will overwrite the last text file that I'd done earlier, and it will put our card into monitor mode, which it's already in monitor mode. And with that said, as you can see, it's capturing now on WLAN 0 mon. Anyway, let's give it some help. My phone's currently connected up to my Wi-Fi, so let's disconnect. And that will hopefully give it a couple of seconds to, find a new network or my network again. And it looks like either my device sent out some, probe request, or a bunch of other devices did. A car just did drive by, so maybe we got lucky and grabbed a probe request from someone else. Maybe we'll see something funny or interesting. But yeah, let's just capture this info for now, and to finish the capture, you can hit Control-C. That will stop the capture, and if you want to view the file, it's as simple as going back to nano, Tshark, capture. There we go. and our information is here. Right now it doesn't look like much, but if you want to see the probe request or the SSID, you can scroll all the way to the end of the file, and there's our SSID that was captured. Now this is my phone trying to connect up to my wireless Raspberry Pi portable, and I got a few different ones. I got two, so you're going to see one that's car Wi-Fi radio, one that's car Wi-Fi radio 1, and there's probably a bunch of other information in here, maybe some miscellaneous things that we didn't capture because we weren't close enough, and you may even see some of the neighbors around maybe. Nope. That's a good thing. At least I don't have to censor that out then. But yeah, you basically will capture a lot of probe requests in a very short time. You can capture up to 1,000 probe requests in less than a minute depending on where you're at. Anyway, like I said, mostly harmless fun. There are some things you can take advantage of here. Let's say you're somewhere like nearby a coffee shop or something, but you're not actually at the coffee shop. They have free Wi-Fi, you don't need a password to get on it. Let's say you don't actually know the SSID for that coffee shop. You never actually connected up to their network, so you don't know it. You're just across the street and you're like, let's see if we can find that SSID. You could use a probe request to get that information from someone's phone trying to get onto a network. And if you were to miscellaneously create a network with the same name, you now know that a device is already trying to connect up to it, right? So if you have that device, a new SSID, new network made for it to connect up to, it will just automatically connect up to it without any user interaction on the other user's end. Your phones just like to connect to whatever signal's the strongest and whatever SSIDs matched their history on the device. So this could be useful if you want to capture some information over Wireshark or something once they connect up to you. But then again, this is just mostly harmless fun, and if you just want to word drive and see what weird wacky names come up, this is how you would do it. Anyway, that's basically it. That's how Tshark works. There are a couple other commands we can mess with, and you can figure those out just by typing in the manual, as always, Tshark. And that will tell us all the commands that we can do, and this list is pretty extensive. I recommend taking a look if you want and seeing if there's something you might actually want to use that I didn't show off in today's video. Anyway, for now, I'm going to leave this video off here. Like I said, I'm going to keep this quick and short till my YouTube situation is sorted out. But yeah, anyway, I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm going to leave it off here now. DTPK signing off. Peace. Anyway, I do regret not keeping the plug, or at least moving the plug so you can charge it in and use it at the same time. Python 3 installed, but we do not have Stepic installed. How would we go about installing this program?